The Eagles. Oh,
wow. Shit. Well, happy 200 to you too there, buddy. Thanks for finding the Geek Spot.
Woo!
Welcome to another Monday night with the boys here. Thanks for finding the Geek Spot. I'm Jack. That's Frank. We've made it through quite a few episodes, quite a long time together. I think we did close to 60 episodes of another show before we started this one. So One day I'll go back and track all those numbers and figure out exactly how many episodes of shows we've done.
Boy. So you look different and I look different from episode number 1. It was, I don't remember. I looked it up. It was 2021 when we started this specific journey. Right about the time WandaVision came out. Actually.
It was. I saw when I was reviewing our early episodes, it was WandaVision era. And so much.
So a couple of things from that I watched most of the first episode today at work on and off while I was working. And I am like, this it looks like, because the camera was up here. And for those of you that are listening, I'm like slouched down in my seat and it looks like the camera's kind of above me pointing down at my face. Jack has a full beard and mustache.
Sounds right.
And a lot of hair, a lot more darker hair. And my glasses were reflecting the light. I was it was a horrible setup that I had for quite a while.
Well, and I would love to say when that dropped, but it was published January 27th, which means it was recorded anywhere between January 2nd and January 26th.
Yeah. So when I was in charge of posting the videos, I didn't always post them immediately after the show like Jack does. When we're done the show, you pretty much can go on within an hour and the episode is up as a podcast. I would edit the show a little bit, add the music in the front, add the music in the back sometimes. And then I would put the episode up within a week to 2 weeks of us doing the show. Definitely not the most well-oiled machine back then.
Yeah, things have tightened up.
We were also doing it on Zoom.
We were occasionally, we were in person for the ones right before we switched. I don't know if we managed to do any in person for Geek Spot back in the day. But so it was, January 27th, 2021.
Nice.
So right around then is when we first went live. We discussed some Ghostbusters, some Mortal Kombat, Young Guns 3.
Oof.
All the progress that Hollywood has made on these things since 2021. We got a Mortal Kombat.
We did.
I think this was about the video game coming out, though. The rebooted video game.
The first episode had something to do with one of the ladies from the Matrix complaining about how she didn't understand how they were going to do another Matrix because all the characters were dead, but the characters were coming back. And I was like reading the quote and laughing about it.
I would assume that was Carrie Ann Moss.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
It was somebody else from the Matrix.
Was it Jada Pinkett?
It wasn't. No.
There was other women in the movies?
There may have been. Let me see who it was.
We also talked about a new Dungeons & Dragons TV series, which we still have not gotten. Battlestar Galactica reboot, which we still have not gotten.
Mm-hmm.
And WandaVision's episode 1 and 2.
Wow. It was not Monica Bellucci. It was.
Oh no, it was, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't her. It was Gina someone.
I don't know. I did not get the chance to go catch that. So think about this. When we started Geek Spot News and bringing the news to the people,
Gina Torres is who it was.
Oh, love Gina Torres.
So do I.
Go ahead. The MCU is just starting Phase 4. And it was
Where are we at now?
It's full of promise. I think we're in Phase 6 now. We just got to phase 6, which
that
it's
just
a very
the other day,
fast turnaround for those two phases.
Yeah, just the other day was when Secret War was supposed to come out, right? It was just
Probably.
the other day.
Well, Doomsday. It was Kang Dynasty, right?
No, it was supposed to be Secret. I think Secret War was supposed to be first.
Great. It's so long.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were just finishing up the Arrowverse. As we mentioned last week, we figured out or a few weeks ago when we talked about Tron Ares, it was episode 5. If you have the Apple Podcast, you can go back and catch our interview with Kevin, who is a special effects guy, helping out on Deadpool 2, and then he worked on Tron Ares. Now we'll still work on if his schedule frees up, maybe trying to get him back in, get another interview going every 200 episodes. Maybe we'll do an interview another 5 weeks. Or
Marvel was in 2025. Marvel was supposed to release the Kang Dynasty on May 2nd and Secret Wars on November 7th, which was 3 days ago as of we're talking right now.
That's wild. That's
Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumanium, which is the prequel to Kang Dynasty, failed critically at the box office, and Kang wasn't well received as a villain. Jonathan Majors had some issues and was released from his dealings with Marvel. Massive restructuring. Kang was scrapped in 2024. Kang Dynasty renamed to Doomsday. Doomsday was supposed to premiere on May 1st, 2026. May 7th, 2027 was supposed to be Secret Wars. Both films pushed to December of their respective years. Now on November 7th, 2025, that date was taken over by Predator Badlands.
Which is coming out, yeah. Just dropped.
It is coming out, which also, fun fact, Blade was also supposed to premiere. Oof.
Yes, someday. Look, we got Blade as the Fist of Khonshu in Marvel Zombies. Not just based on the fact that Mahershala Ali would play him and kind of drawn that way, but not, they haven't gotten there yet.
No.
With all that Kang stuff, right? So I've been the Avengers has been my latest read back. I think I'm on issue 240 something, 250 something. Maybe almost on 250. So I'm in like 1983. So 25 years in to the run so far or so. Kang was tough. Like, it took a long time. He was kind of introduced in the Avengers. He was kind of introduced in Fantastic Four as Ramatut. They kept trying to introduce and then tie back different versions that they introduced as they went. So he's not an easy character to understand if you're not like a comic person.
Right.
Because he's very convoluted, and it requires all that multiverse stuff and somebody to go and sit down and be like, okay, you're going to read this page full of dialogue on what this means, and then we'll have to change it 3 or 4 times. So I get why that character didn't hit, because he's just a weird character. And they didn't even bill it as like he's from the future, he does all this stuff. Like, they didn't build it up with that. They just built him up as like this weird traveling guy. Like Loki, I think, ruined the character.
Sure.
The way they kept introducing Kang in there, but not really as Kang, but as He Who Remains.
Yep.
Which is just a variant, and they introduced like random variants before we got to Kang himself. Is just, I think it was a weird way to play it.
Yeah.
But what have you been up to, man? We took the week off last week because I was a little busy, which we'll get to in a minute. But how about you?
You were busy. See, I've played hockey. I played hockey Friday night. I played hockey all day Saturday. I had 3 games. So I was in a tournament Saturday. It was one of the guys in the over 50 league I played for down at the Hockey Deck puts together a tournament every year. The benefits go towards Women's USA Ball Hockey. Great organization, great group of people. The women are wonderful, great. Everybody involved in USA Ball Hockey is awesome. The jerseys were provided by 2 and 10. It's a company that we use, run by one of our good friends, Jason Kelly. I was at a tournament at 11 o'clock in the morning. I played 3 games before I suffered a strained groin and had to pull myself out of the tournament. My team lost in the finals. I missed 2 games. And my team lost in the finals. And of course, I'm not there for the team picture because I was sore, exhausted, a lot of hockey, and went home. Other than that, slowly working on the Lego Death Star. As I sent you a picture earlier, it's about a quarter of the way done.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's big, and Lego just finally revealed the Black Friday special, the Lego USS Enterprise D, and all the cast minifigures for Star Trek.
Oh,
which is something new.
Substantial.
Yeah, it's great. I'm looking forward to buying that on Black Friday.
Nice.
But that's what I've been up to. What about you?
Well, last week we couldn't do the show. I was playing a musical all week, so I was doing The Little Mermaid down in Delaware. That ends up being like 7 out of 8 days invested in doing that between rehearsals for the cast and the show itself and all those kinds of pieces. So, great show though. Great time doing that. Right before that, my kids they had their national championship or state champs for marching band, so I was off doing that. But just keeping busy. And then this weekend, their football team is still going in the playoffs. So we have a playoff game Friday, Saturday. Not sure what's happening yet. We'll see. Maybe a gig. We'll try and work stuff out for that, depending on how people are doing. And and then full band coming up, and then solid calendar through the end of the year. Other than union games burst in there because the Union are on to the next round of the playoffs. Semifinals are in 2 weeks. Yeah, so I'll keep everybody posted because I know you're all watching the show just to hear how the Philadelphia Union and MLS Soccer is seated and going through the playoffs. That'll be going for the next month.
So our playoffs starting in hockey. The over 50 league starts tomorrow night. We drew the 9:40 game. And I just want to say what a delight it is to drive from Northeast Philly to Springfield, PA, through I-95 with the construction that's going on lately, with lanes shut down, and it's down sucks. Coming home is even worse. It's a nightmare. But I have a game Tuesday at 9:40, and then Thursday, Friday for the other league that I'm in, and then Sunday for the other league that I'm in.
That's a lot of leagues.
And then possibly a Monday night playoff game is what I'm hearing after the Thursday, Friday round is over. They like to really get this. They really like to cram the playoffs in as much as possible to get their next season started right away.
It seems that way.
Yeah. We got a nice shout out for a band there.
Yeah, Jimmy, the co-front of Fab Fly, the man who's been keeping it all together over the years. That's the band, the 22nd at Red Stallion. Come check that out. All your 90s ska, 70s horn tunes, current rock, a little bit of everything. We try and run the gambit as far as that. So come out and see us, and all those dates that I'm not playing, you can go check out Jim Monahan playing all over the place, solo as well. And hey, Charles too in the chat. Good to see you. All right, so I think we're about due for our list for this episode, right?
Before we do
have something else to cover. I just looked at you and it made me think of something.
Hold on, I can't. There we go. So it's a well-known secret that I wear this shirt a lot. Okay, this is just one of my most comfortable shirts.
Last
in the world.
week, I bet that you wore it over 20 times. You said under 15.
Okay, I was wrong and you were right. I went back. And as far back as our shows go, I counted 25 times. This makes 26 that I have worn this specific shirt. Yeah. So
yeah, I've not worn this one here yet. I'm representing UD tonight. So the clutch final second win Saturday at homecoming.
Congratulations to the Delawares.
Yeah. Look, they moved up divisions this year. They're playing some big guns.
Okay.
Dion beat them up earlier this season, but they've kind of rebounded since then.
Yeah, Dion's doing really good, isn't he?
I don't know about this year.
No, he's not. Sorry, I'm reposting the show somewhere. Anyway, yes, a list. So this is a weirder list now. As I'm looking at it, it's not actually ranked numbers. Right, so it doesn't go 2019-18. It just has the 20 most overrated TV shows ever made. Okay. This is a list published 23 hours ago by Angel Shaw on ScreenRant.com. Angel is the lead writer and peer mentor on Screen Rant's new TV team, covering new release TV shows across all major streaming platforms. She's been with Screen Rant since 2022 and specializes in Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and fantasy. So, these are some of the highest rated TV shows of all time. And the list starts with Glee. As
I agree with that.
Overrated TV show.
100%.
Okay. The problem with Glee was that it ran out of ideas rather quickly.
Yeah, look, they had some really cool covers, but it was like one or two a season would be a good hit.
Yep.
But it did bring like a cappella as a genre back kind of to the mainstream. There was, America's Best a cappella group. You got Pentatonics won that, came out of there, whatever that show was called. But yeah, look, I give it credit for what it did to the social zeitgeist, but not being a great show.
I agree with that. The second show on this list is The Big Bang Theory.
Ooh, you should have feelings on that.
Well, I mean, look, part of the Big Bang Theory success came down to its fresh idea. Rather than a group of traditionally attractive and charismatic pals like Friends, this series centered on genius nerds. The problem came as the jokes grew stale. The central plot line was slow moving, while the same handful of nerd and neurodivergent puns were played on repeat. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely the same cycle of
what
jokes.
Sitcoms do.
It does. And there are some episodes where where I used to sit at night playing video games and I would put The Office on. I switched and started putting this on because I had ran through The Office so many times. And now I'm finding that same, it's just background noise while I'm playing a game. Yeah. Like tonight I'll go up and play a game, and watch wrestling or a hockey game because hockey's on. And no, I'm not watching the Eagles tonight. I'm watching wrestling and watching not
wrestling and Big Bang Theory. Fun fact with the Eagles game tonight is if you have YouTube TV as your provider, which I do, they are still in a fight with Disney. So there is no ABC Disney products on YouTube TV currently, which means but they're going to give you $20.
Yeah.
Which fine, because it'll pay for a one-day pass for Sling TV to get ESPN tonight to watch the Eagles game.
Yeah, I don't want to jump through all those hoops. I have Hulu and it sucks. Next show, American Idol.
No, look, depending on the original iteration, no, not overrated. The new one, yeah.
It's so this says early seasons relied heavily on mocking contestants, and today the show focuses more on the singers' stories than on their talent. Well, I don't watch it. I watch some of the earlier ones, but I don't watch it.
I think the early ones mocked the contestants because that was the good clip. But that's not how the show actually went. That was like the first episode or two of the season. You get those people, and then there's still 3 months of show left. So I wouldn't say that it hung its hat on mocking people.
Right. I mean, that was a Simon Cowell thing. And then as Simon moved over to his other show, he completely changed and wasn't in the mocking because it wasn't as funny to mock. It was funny then. And then it became not so funny to mock the contestants. Now he's like actually a really nice guy. And I watched some of the clips.
Well, and apparently he's like Gordon Ramsay. Like that's how he was for the show, but that's not how he is.
Hey, Pete, thanks. Next show is Family Guy. I don't watch Family Guy. I watch clips of Family Guy, but I don't watch Family Guy.
Yeah, I was all in 30 years ago. When it started for a couple seasons, and then I kind of dropped off, unfortunately. But I don't know. Yeah, they run every time I tune back in. I'm like, it's the same episodes that it was 25 years ago. So I wouldn't say they're doing anything groundbreaking over there. But I don't know anybody saying that's groundbreaking either.
Yeah. The next show, I wholeheartedly agree because I'm not a big fan of it. Seinfeld.
Oh yeah, I know you hate that show.
It's just overrated. It's just
look. It brought a different kind of humor. I don't think it's overrated. Because I think it lasted the right amount of time.
There are funny funny moments in that show, but I don't like I can't watch all the episodes anymore. I can watch, and I get like that with a lot of stuff too, but
yeah.
Yeah. The next show I never watched, This Is Us.
First season was very good from what I understand. I think I tapped in and out through it. But it was one that like it, and look, that's by the guy that does Paradise now. So like we gotta hope he can hold 3 seasons together.
Hope so.
I think it was tough because it got so into the mysteries, but it wasn't about the mysteries, but it was about family. But yeah, it was. I think from what I heard from the people that did stick with it, it did hold up. So I wouldn't call that one overrated. I think you're much.
Young Sheldon.
You never watched
which I never watched it either. I watched the finale, which tied right back to the Big Bang Theory. But this basically it says that it basically just endless retcons to Sheldon's established background,
sure.
and
now there's more because you get the spinoff of that, George and Mandy's first marriage,
which I have no interest in. I'm fine where I'm at. Next is Squid Game. I never got the phenomena. I never watched it. It never grabbed me.
I think it came out at the right time.
Okay.
I didn't. And I think the first season was groundbreaking, right, for what it was. But I also again, it came out during a dearth in entertainment, right, because it was middle of the pandemic.
Sure.
And season 2 and 3, nobody really gave a shit about. So,
right.
So I would say that as a series, overrated. But I think the first season holds up.
I feel like this list is just plucking all the favorite shows that it can. Next is Lost, which
super overrated.
I love Lost, and I actually enjoyed the ending of Lost.
Yeah.
It's a shame that they kind of muddled it up, and what started off as such a powerfully strong story they could have told, that they kind of got forced into a box by the studio, and we're like, all right, well, we threw all this shit at the wall. We don't know how to end it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it went on for, if it would have been like, hey, we're going to do 3 seasons. Here's our story. Great.
Yep. Beginning, middle, end.
And that goes to the same thing I was just talking about with This Is Us, right? Like, and what could happen with maybe a Paradise, right? Like a Paradise and it won't, because shows don't get 5 seasons anymore. But like,
no,
once it hits season 3, it's like, this is our story. And he went in as that was his pitch. Not like, we're going to keep doing it. Like, no, like we want to do this. This is our story from start to finish.
Yep. Friends is next. I can see Friends being considered overrated too. I know that there's millions of fans out there that live and die by this show. But really it is, again, the same, will he get with this one? Will he won't get with this one? Will he get with this one? Will he get with this one? It's a sitcom. It's the same.
Yeah. Formula. I think you got to see them evolve a little bit more as you went, though, for the most part. I think they did as good a job, or even better, kind of, than Big Bang Theory. They're kind of the same thing, right? Like, you got to watch the characters grow up, which was cool.
And it was cool watching them evolve. It got to a point where they were doing the same repeated thing over and over and over again. But when they finally did get to the end, the season finale, the series finale of Friends was great. The series finale of Big Bang Theory was great. It was emotional, and that's what I'm looking for. Like, wrap my story up, give me an emotional, good ending that I can connect with, like The Office. Next show
that
is
better be on this
Abbey.
list.
Downton Abbey. Never watched it.
I can't speak to Downton Abbey.
No, I can't either. Or the next one, Emily in Paris.
Oh, it's fine. It's been on a few times. I don't know how it's still on. It was a great one season. And look, I think that's the thing with a lot of these shows that they're listing, right? Like, not all of them, but most of the ones they've listed so far, had a standout amazing season, and then it was like, oh, we don't know what to do. Pivot. I have watched Welcome to Derry. When we get to when I catch up on what I've been watching, I'm gonna hit that before we dig into our couple other things. Yeah.
Next is How I Met Your Mother. This is a show that I actually enjoyed, but does not hold up. Some of the stories that they went through in this does not hold up to today. And if you take a step back and really examine the show, there are multiple problems with many of the characters in this show.
Oh, that whole show is very problematic. I would say does it hold up? No.
No.
Was it overrated at the time? No, for the most part, it actually held up great at the time.
Yeah. I mean,
it's another one though. Like it went on like 2 seasons too long.
It went on
but
too
they did
long.
get their ending.
I hated the ending so much.
Yeah.
This is the show that I hated the ending. Like you build up this show searching for this person, and then you kill this person off and swerve him over.
There was a lot of weird cop outs and retcons, like in the last episode. It was like,
The only good thing they did was for continuity. They filmed all of the kids' sections
right
at once, and then played them as you went on. So when they finally get to the end of the show, where those two actors are well aged out of being the kids that they were at the beginning, they're the exact same because they had already filmed that part. Right. So that's good. The next show, you absolutely will agree. I will not. The Office is on this list.
Yeah, I feel like we may have already talked enough about that show.
Yeah, we're good. We can. That's fine. Next is a shocking one: Breaking Bad.
Disagree. I think
I disagree on that as well.
As you know, we are going to talk about the new Vince. What's his name? Vince Gilliam. Yeah. Show. Vince Gilligan. Show towards the end of this episode. No, I think that one holds up. If you look at the overall universe,
yeah.
Once you throw El Camino in there, it's not as good. But like Better Call Saul is as good or better than Breaking Bad. So like I think that universe holds up.
Yeah, we only have 5 more. Dexter. I never watched it.
Look, I've heard it's great. I know the ending is one of the most hated endings of all time. But I don't know where I would say that it's overrated at all.
Okay. The Bear?
Way overrated. Okay. It is such a brutal show to watch. Because it keeps showing up as comedy, and it's so not. It's just a bunch of people yelling at each other in a kitchen. It's the whole show.
Next one is Grey's Anatomy.
It's been on about 18 seasons too long.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea.
You weren't this one, Denny and Izzy? It wasn't your thing?
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Oh, God.
The next show, and this one I can say I think is overrated because I've never watched it, but you will highly disagree. The Walking Zombies.
Oh, The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead.
Look. Another one where, as it went, it got a little off the rails. And the last season was not its strongest all in. But I don't know that show is overrated because I think that the zeitgeist, and I'm using that word a lot tonight for whatever reason, maybe I'm on letter Z in my source, kind of died down after like season 7. Unfortunately, it went to season 11. So I could see where people would think that's overrated.
The final show on here, Game of Thrones, I think fell so flat on its face in its ending that I can't say that the whole thing is overrated. What it run? 7, 8 seasons? 8 seasons?
6, I think.
6, 7?
Yeah. Oh no. 6, 7.
Yeah.
No.
6, 7, 6, 7. Ah, I got him.
Look at you. You did it.
Yeah, I just learned about the hand motion part.
We did it. Season 8. 8 seasons.
Okay, so for 6.5 seasons, 6.5 seasons, this show was phenomenal, and then it fell flat on its face. Season most of 7 and all of 8.
So
it just
yeah.
Oh, you just lagged out?
No, that was me doing it myself.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't even want to read the book now. Like, I just don't even want to read the book if it ever comes out.
So, fun fact, though, my first episode with Frank was a Game of Thrones episode where we talked about, I want to say the last season was 6 episodes, I think. Episode like 4 or 5 was my first episode on Nerd Revolution Radio with Frank and the guys. Way back when.
Way back. Way back when we did episodes once every whatever.
Yeah, look, that I think that show went 66 episodes over the course of 3 years.
Yeah, that's
And
fun.
most of them were in the last year when we did our Arrowverse recaps.
Yeah. I'm going to run through a quick couple of little newsy points. Mark the date on your calendar, November 2027. Gremlins 3.
Okay.
Gremlins 3, November 2027. I'm going to tie that back to Dom's comment about Welcome to Derry. No.
With
like, I'll see
Christopher
Gremlins
Columbus
maybe.
to direct Gremlins 3, right?
Yes. Chris
Zach
Columbus.
Galifianakis coming back?
The first two Harry Potter movie, the guy who directed the first two Harry Potter movies will direct and produce Gremlins 3.
No, nothing.
We haven't had a Gremlins movie since 1990.
Yeah, look, Gremlins 2 is one of my favorite horror, with quotes around it, movies of all time. Zach Galligan, not Galifianakis.
I wasn't going to correct you.
Is Phoebe Cates coming back? Because then
I don't know.
Then we'll all
I didn't see any casting news.
We'll see if Phoebe Cates is back.
What we have coming in February is a show I am very, very looking forward to. This reboot will premiere on February 25th, 2026. You'll be able to watch it on ABC and then the next day on Hulu. Scrubs is back.
Yeah, look, they are all over social media with that right now.
So we have Sarah Chalk is returning as Elliot Reed. Zach Braff is returning as JD and will direct the pilot episode of this. Donald Faison is back as Christopher Turk. We have Judy Reyes will be back as Carla Espinoza.
Doing double duty.
She's on that show. High Potential. So they let her go back to film. She's going to be in like 4 episodes, I think she said.
Is that in trouble with her and Turk?
Bill Lewis is coming back as Hooch. I love Hooch. Hooch is crazy.
Is he the one with the bandana?
No, he's the one with the he's the one that was like setting stuff on fire, and then like they would have interns walk behind him.
Oh,
like,
I don't know if I was still in by then.
No, Hooch is great. Robert Macchio is back as the Todd.
Okay.
High Five and Todd. We got John McKinley back as Dr. Perry Cox.
Nice.
And that is it for the original.
The janitor's not back?
There is no janitor at the moment.
Wow.
So I'm a little excited about that.
I mean, he's not currently filming. Oh God, what's our show with Harrison
Malcolm
Ford?
in the Middle?
No, with Harrison Ford and Jason Segel.
Oh, Shameless.
Shrinking. Because he is the janitor is currently in Shrinking.
He is very good in Shrinking. He's actually really good. Did you watch the trailer for the Michael Jackson movie?
No.
It looks great. The biopic.
His nephew, right, is playing Michael Jackson.
Yes, his real life nephew.
Yeah.
It looks great. It really does.
Yeah.
Coleman Domingo is Joe Jackson. Nia Long is Catherine Jackson. Miles Teller with an awful wig as John Branca.
Okay. I don't know the story behind it. I will probably watch it. I'm not a fan of the music biopic. I've liked a handful of them, but for the most part, like I don't even bother with them. Like I really enjoyed Rocket Man, but I can't even bring myself to watch Bohemian Rhapsody. I
am feeling the same way. Like I am feeling the same way, but the trailer from the Michael Jackson biopic looks great, and I like Michael enough to watch that.
Well, given its family, do you think it's going to take the dark side, or is it going to be all sunshine and unicorns and rainbows?
I don't know.
That's where I'm like,
yeah,
that's where I'm split with how to look at that.
Yeah. I'm going to run through these other 4 things I have really quick. December 19th, Avatar Fire and Ash comes out, and we will finally get the Avengers Doomsday trailer. It's confirmed to release with the movie. So I will be looking forward to seeing that online because I have no desire to see another Avatar movie. Still have not seen the second. Don't want to see whatever one this is.
Look, they are gorgeous. So I'll go see it. It's and I don't know that I ever saw the original in the theater. So when the second one came out, I was like, I need to go get the full IMAX treatment of this. But like the IMAX projector overheated like twice during the screening that I went to, because it was a lot. And it was like, we got to pause the movie for a bit. We're like, okay. Great.
No, and T asks if we've ever seen the Jacksons, The American Dream. I don't think I've ever seen that.
It was in 1992. No,
Okay.
I didn't. Angela Bassett was Katherine Jackson. Vanessa Williams was somebody in it. I didn't. Terrence Howard was in it as Jackie Jackson. Billy D. Williams, Barry Gordy. Yeah, I did not get a chance to watch that.
And the other stuff isn't. I finally read, and I grabbed a bunch of links and didn't read them. Also, the last little story thing I have is Alan Ritchson, who plays Reacher.
Yes,
played Aquaman on Smallville.
Hawk
in
Titans.
He played Hawk in Titans. He is being eyed for a role in the James Gunn's DC universe. He is looking to play something a little messier. So he's definitely not going to be Batman. It sounds like he wants to be a villain.
I bet he's Red Hood.
Hey.
I bet they'll bring him in as Red Hood, because that is your closest thing to like a Punisher.
Okay.
That I think that they would
Bane?
do. I mean, look, he's built like Bane.
He's built,
but I think that's a waste. Because Red Hood gets to be like dark but witty, and like go up against Batman.
Could he be an Azrael?
I don't think we'll see Azrael in the movies.
No.
Like, I mean, look, when Jason Todd came back, that was and do you know who brought Jason Todd back? Who they had write that? Judd Winnick.
Who's that?
Did you watch The Real World?
No.
San Francisco with Pedro? Do you remember The Real World when it came out back in the day?
I did.
On MTV.
With Puck, right?
Same season.
Okay.
Judd was that season.
No shit.
He was one of the people on the second season of The Real World who turned into an insanely talented comic book writer. He talked about it on in The Real World here and there, and then he got signed. He wrote Titans for a long time. He brought back the Red Hood. He wrote Outsiders when they redid that with Arsenal and Dick Grayson running it.
All right.
Real quick, coming to town soon too for us is Monster Mania 65, an X-Files reunion.
That's in Cherry Hill, I believe,
Oaks,
right?
This one.
Oaks, this
but you
one.
get Gillian Anderson, Michael Rooker, Robert Patrick, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh, wow.
Jane,
That's
Ralph
actually...
Macchio, Billy Zabka, Sean Ashmore.
I would love to get a picture with Johnny.
It is in 2 weeks. November 21st to the 23rd. So you can go Friday and Sunday. Come see Fab Fly on Saturday on the 22nd.
There you go.
And see, there you go. You're good.
You got it all worked out. Real fast, a couple quick things that I just noticed real fast. There is a live action V for Vendetta TV series in the works at HBO and DC. James Gunn will executive produce.
Oh, all right. Whatever.
We're getting a Jimmy Olsen TV show.
Oh, is that official?
DC Studios taps American Vandal creators for Jimmy Olsen TV show. The show would be led by Skylar Gisondo.
Love him.
I like it.
I like it. I love that kid. I think he's great.
Yeah, he was great
in everything. In everything that I've seen him in 4 or 5 shows at this point.
He's great in the show format. He was great as Manhor Olsen. And my son texted me today to let me know that some Spirit of Halloween stores are being turned into Spirit of Christmas stores.
They are.
There's one coming to Cherry Hill. I'll be going Saturday.
Enjoy.
And lastly, the Super Mario Galaxy trailer drops Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern.
Did you see the last movie yet?
No.
It's great.
Super Mario movie? Yeah, I heard it's phenomenal. I'll get
up.
there. I will go see Gillian Anderson and tell her that T loves her. Yes, T, A Spirit of Christmas Store. I want to know why you think the DC universe might be done before we get to see his Batman, while Jack starts his TV shows.
Yeah, so look, I'll hit a couple. I think we're gonna finish up with Pluribus, since Frank and I both watched the first 2 episodes of that show. It's an Apple TV.
We're on the same damn
Apple
page.
TV show, which I would recommend. Maybe we'll see. Stay tuned. But before that, we did have, and I didn't even realize it dropped, was The Witcher. Season 4 has dropped on Netflix. Very quiet drop for this one. This is the season that is not led by Henry Cavill, but instead by Liam Hemsworth in the role of The Witcher. Continuing the storyline right where we dropped off. There's no acknowledgement. They had a great inflection point at the end of the last season where he was gravely injured that they could have brought back him from this injury and changed him into Liam Hemsworth. But instead, they didn't do that. Even though they knew before it dropped that they were going to change characters. That would have been the best time. Like, oh my God, he was so grievously injured. Oh, now he looks like this. Great. Instead, they just changed it without any acknowledgement. The show's great. It's the season's good. The storytelling's good. It's moving forward. All of the different plot things. It is a lot to take in as it is season 4 of a fantasy epic. So there's about 2 episodes worth of, like, I don't remember who the hell any of these people are. Because the thing that's getting harder and harder with TV anymore is we take years in between seasons. Is these shows with massive cast, it's like it takes a long time to remember who the hell is who. Like when we were doing Wheel of Time, every season was started. I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are, and they're referencing names. Like, am I supposed to know that person? Because I don't. There's a lot of that in The Witcher. I think Liam Hemsworth is great. His acting's on point. His physicality for the role's still there. Look, as I told you, it seems like people were upset that Henry's not there, and that's kind of the internet buzz. But I didn't watch it to see him as eye candy, so like I don't care that he's not there as eye candy now. They're actually letting Liam Hemsworth act a little bit more, which is cool. And Lawrence Fishburne is in a handful of episodes and is fantastic.
Okay.
He's just like creepy sorcerer, mage, wise man kind of guy, maybe. Okay. I'm only about halfway through the season. I know where his story ends up, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't gotten into watching it yet.
I have not.
I know. You're only 4 seasons behind. You'll get there.
I'm so close.
But yeah, it's great. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. So I'm excited to finish that in the next couple weeks. To hit T's points, since he's jumping in there. Thanks, Savius, for the congrats on 200.
Hey, thank you.
So T's saying that we will not see James Gunn's Batman because WB is a mess, and unless it's Superman, DC isn't making anyone any real money. If they bought out not even the grifter, James Gunn can save the DC universe with his odd, weird properties he is trying to make a thing. So look, if it is Paramount has said they plan on keeping James Gunn. I think this year is the make or break for the DCU. Not this year, sorry. Next year, as we get Lanterns and we get Supergirl and we get Clayface, because these will be the first 3 things that are not James Gunn joints.
Right.
Because he's been like everything he's done is been good. I've enjoyed all 3 of the things. Superman took me a while, but I'm okay with it.
I like it.
But they are all very James Gunn-y. And that's not for everybody.
Right.
My biggest issue with his approach so far with having everything be kind of interconnected is I feel like the universe, if you want to make it a $1 billion, $2 billion franchise, it has to be for everybody. There's no way you're showing your kids Creature Commandos or Peacemaker. And if Peacemaker is like setting up the next stuff for DC, like what are you doing?
But he's very adamant.
Show a 5-year-old an orgy scene from Peacemaker.
No, right? But he's very adamant that you don't have to watch one thing. He's trying to get to where Marvel should have gotten, where you don't need to watch 23 TV shows to understand one movie. And I'm assuming that he's going to do some kind of a verbal recap
Maybe.
to clue you in on why this, and this happened. Exposition. That's the word I'm looking for. He's going to probably do some kind of exposition instead of, okay, you didn't see the orgy scene, which you really don't need to see. So we can just
even
kind of
the graphicness of the fight scenes. Like it's, look, and we'll see. I don't know that I feel great about that as the direction, but I also don't want to have to like recap every time that I watch something. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Man of Tomorrow is going to be the one that really decides that part, and how he pulls everything back together. But I'm intrigued to see if his DCU, once we get these other points of view, can be successful.
I hope it is. I'm very hopeful. I don't want to see it fail. I like the I like the DC properties more than I like the Marvel properties overall. I was a bigger Batman, Superman, Flash kind of guy growing up than I was Iron Man, Captain America, etc.
Yeah, I was a bigger DC guy, just not
Right.
the DC that we're seeing so far.
No, but I don't hate what I'm seeing so far. I actually am really, really enjoying it. But
no, I think James Gunn's DC is for like an older crowd, which is we're getting Lanterns, right? Which Lanterns is a true detective style show, so that's for an older crowd. We're getting
right,
a horror
we're
movie,
we're not
murder
getting
movie.
Lanterns until after we get Supergirl.
Supposedly, we'll see.
Supposedly.
No, I thought it was still before.
No, I think it's after.
And Supergirl, which if she's anything like she is at the end of Superman movie, not a kids movie either.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
like,
it's going to be a kids movie.
That's
Lobo
what I
is
mean,
not
like,
Lobo's not a kids guy either, right?
Well, look, depending on how you take him, like kids love his style because it's like Deadpool.
Right. Okay.
Right. It's very meta. It's very over the top. It's rambunctious. It's for older guys like Lobo's obnoxious, and you're like, shh, settle down. But for like kids, he's fun. He's great. He's big. He's larger than life.
Right.
He's Jason Momoa. It's like literally, Aquaman was how Lobo is. Jason Momoa just played Lobo for his entire career that he's been famous for. To finally get to actually put on the makeup. But yeah, I think it's a very adult centric DCU that he's building, which is fine, but that's not how you build long term, and that's not how you rebuild the comics. Like that's the hard part, right? Like you don't right tease with me that. So Lobo, and maybe we'll do a deep dive on Lobo and kind of the Supergirl character before we get to the movie. But Lobo was originally introduced as like a throwaway character in the Omega Men series, and then was brought back in the 90s against Legion, which was like L period E. It was an acronym for something, law enforcement, some crap, which was like a ancestor of Brainiac 5, who was a Coluan. An interesting series, but that's kind of where he got brought back because they started doing space stuff again. And then then they were like, oh, we reimagined him as basically Wolverine and Sabretooth rolled into one and like a biker guy. And then he was the biggest thing since sliced bread for like 10 years at DC, where they forced him into everything. But his original character was like purple hair, white clown face, and a purple and orange jumpsuit was how his character was originally introduced, not a leather jacket and feeding dolphins and a big chain with a hook on the end. Like, yeah, it's the character went through a massive reboot after about 10 years. There's that. So that show we'll see with the DC part. And then we have Welcome to Derry, which Dom mentioned earlier. I did not see this week's episode yet. Welcome to Derry, for any of you that don't know, it's Welcome to Derry. So it is a prequel to the It and It Chapter 2 by Andy and Barbara Muschietti, based on the works of Stephen King. So it is a lot of shock and awe in the first two episodes. It is big horror. There's at least 2 to 3, really 2 big ones in each episode so far. They are movies, in their scope and kind of the way they're shot, and the horror scenes are very graphic. There's a lot of it's an uncomfortable show, not just a horror piece, but you watch, it's like the meanest kids of the 50s are like legit bullying these other kids as you go through, not counting that these kids then have to go deal with these Pennywise horrific nightmare monsters that are popping up, and very, very crazy graphic scenes. There's a lot, these first 2 episodes, about like demon babies and birthing and that process, and like just wild. One of the lead characters, her dad died in an accident at the pickle factory. He fell into a vat where they put the pickles and chopped them. And like the kids at school, this is a year later, she's been institutionalized. The kids at school fill her locker with jars of pickles.
Okay. Weird.
Like that's how mean these kids are in this show. This is just like the general populace, like not specific kids, just the general kids are this mean to other kids. It's wild. And it has all those factors. It goes heavy into what race was like in the 50s and early 60s in like Derry, Maine, because you get your main character is an African-American military pilot who is the grandfather of the character from the It movie and the It book that's in this, Holman. So you get that piece. That's all tough to watch in the show as well. It's just there's a lot of uncomfortableness throughout the show. From what I've been told, episode 3 is when it really starts to like find its footing and move the story along. Because like the first episode, and spoilers mild for Welcome to Derry, you get introduced like, all right, these are our characters for the season. Just kidding, we're going to kill all of these children at the end of the episode. Except for like 1 or 2. And then, all right, and now episode 2. All right, pilot number 2, we now have that happened. Now we're going to reset the world again with who's really going to be your characters for this season in episode 2. So it's like big splashy pilot, and another big splashy pilot for episode 2. And then I think we finally start moving the mythos along, because there's also entering in the like a military component, a sci-fi component, supernatural pieces. You get the horror, like there's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts in this show. And I think if I did not see it chapter 2 yet, I think I'm going to go watch that before this show gets too much farther along. But I would recommend that if you have any remote interest in the horror genre.
Not my cup of tea.
Not your thing for sure.
Not my cup of tea.
But so far it is. I see a lot of potential in the show, and I hope it keeps it up. So that brings us to Pluribus,
to a show I actually am watching and enjoying. I wasn't sure after the trailer, and you're like, "Hey, let's watch this and let's get on it." And I just was like, we'll see."
So Pluribus, for those of you who have not watched it yet, if you have not watched this show, pause this, go watch it. The first 2 episodes dropped Friday. It is on Apple TV. Is it just Apple TV now, or is it still Plus?
It's just Apple TV. We got rid of the Plus.
All of the ads still say Plus, but it's fine.
Yes.
So it is dropped on that. It is the new Vince Gilligan show, who's the Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul creator, starring Rhea Seehorn. And it's, all right, spoiler starting now. It is a sci-fi fantasy thriller. How do you think that fits?
Yeah, I think so.
With it's got the gorgeous cinematography you expect from him, that you would get with like the really like long shots where you're watching your main character react in the front, and then just like the world collapse in the background. Yep. There's in the first episode, there's a scene where she's driving a truck, and it's her like losing control while she drives the truck because just chaos is around her and her world is falling apart. And in the background, she's driving down, and you see like people reacting and things happening with people in all these scenes, and it's a one shot that lasts like 2 or 3 minutes. That I thought was really gorgeous and well done, and you get a few of those at least in these first 2 episodes. But But back to the premise, and then I want to know what you thought of it. But where we get a message from outer space, and as we would in our world, which is what makes it so creepy, we're like, oh, we got to figure out what it means. Oh, I think it's a DNA code. Oh, well, let's go make that DNA.
Yep.
And then, shockingly, even more frightening now, you end up in a government facility with people that don't have their ish together and don't follow protocol and do some really dumb things. And next thing you know, this virus that we created based off code that we found interplanetary has now hit the whole world. So very creepy how that works. I did love Peter Bergman is in the first episode, and I think my mom may or may not still have popped into the episode here. Peter Bergman from All My Children back in the day, and has been on that, and I think he's on The Young and the Restless or Bold and the Beautiful now. He's still on. Whatever one of those shows is still on TV.
Yep.
Cliff Warner on All My Children. He has been on
Young and the Restless.
3,954 episodes of The Young and the Restless.
Unbelievable. I didn't realize that's who that was.
Yeah. I saw him and I was like, oh my God, it's Cliff is who I remember him as. From that, Dr. Cliff I thought that was funny. And a nod to how many times I had to watch All My Children as a kid. When I saw, but yeah, so he's in it for a minute because he's like, as the world is taken over, we end up with Rhea Seehorn's character, who is just a fantasy author. As far as we know, that's really her only thing.
Yeah.
And now she is one of 12 people on the planet who were not infected as this
She's
hive
miserable.
mind.
She's miserable.
Yes. She was miserable before.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on this show?
So it went from 0 to 100 pretty fast. Like the first 10, 15 minutes, it was like, oh, la-di-da, we're going to draw this out a little bit. And then it just goes boom, right to 100. I think after watching the second episode, it opens up so much for discussion about people in general, and the one character, Casanova.
Oh, the guy that
his name,
the Air Force One guy.
The Air Force One guy. Like it's crazy. Carol wants to fix everyone, but the people that she meets five. I think it was five, right? She meets five other people.
English. Yeah.
5 that speak English. And in a normal movie, you would meet, one of them would be a biologist, one of them would be a military guy. Right. You would have the certain people so that you could then move the plot in the different directions. And this isn't like that. This is real. None of them know anything about anything.
No. And they're all having different reactions to how they handle this new real world concept.
But most of their reactions are, let's just go with it. Except the Casanova guy who's
Mr. Diabate.
Mr. Diabate, who is above and beyond and just hey, I'm going to get mine. The world is mine now.
And he asks for all the beautiful women to come be at his beck and call. And it has a harem and Air Force One. It's wild.
It is completely wild, but it also makes you take a step back and think, how would you react to that? Would you want to try and fix the world? And the way they described it was there's no killing. They're against killing.
They cherish life.
They cherish life. They let all the animals out of the zoo. They won't kill an animal to feed you, but they'll use what's already there.
Right.
Everybody, it's a hive mind, so everybody knows everything. As she tried to demonstrate, trying to prove to the woman that that's not her child. There's no individuality.
So, which is the way episode 2 opens. So I took some notes on this. It's insane with the way that they shoot this first scene, because you get introduced to a new character. We don't know who it is, but you see this woman somewhere in the Middle East, and she's pulling a body out of a car, And then she gets the body out of the car, and somebody else pulls right up and picks up the body. And then
On a
she
moped.
goes, right. And then she goes and gets in a car and drives to an airfield. And now, because it's a hive mind and everybody on the planet knows how to do everything,
Yep.
she gets in and drives a bomber or flies a bomber to Southern California or wherever. I think we're in Phoenix.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I would assume, yeah, it's Vince Gilligan, so it's got to be New Mexico, right?
New Mexico.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and she gets in a plane and is able to fly this military plane there and walks in, and all these people are getting everything ready for her. And you're like, it shows you, it's a really great study of what it would be like if everything actually worked together.
Yeah.
And like she walks into this bathroom and everybody, there's already people there getting everything ready and laid out. And then she leaves and she's all cleaned up. And I don't know if you remember her from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Frank.
She looks incredibly familiar.
She had purple hair and was Isla in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Isla during the Sarge era. She was the Izelle. And she was the one that created the Shrike in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes. Okay. I knew she looked really familiar, and I had not.
She was also on True Blood for quite a while. A couple seasons.
I hadn't looked anyone up.
And she was on Justified, which I believe you were a fan of.
Of Justified.
So she's been in a lot of things. So she's great, and she plays the character that, or the embodiment of the hive mind that they have chosen to deal with Rhea Seehorn's character Carol.
Right.
But everybody knows, like the way they reach Carol in the first episode is they on the TV they're like, "Hey Carol, we know you're watching this, and call us so we can talk to you."
Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
It's really, and we do find out this episode, which is where it gets even weirder. Like with this virus and this hive mind, they don't handle emotion well because they are very, as Frank was saying earlier, right? They're very like steady. And we find out that if Carol gets upset and gets emotional with them, they can't process it, and the entire hive mind shuts down.
Yeah.
Regardless of what they're doing.
Yeah, and it causes people to die.
So she killed. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I believe they killed when the virus took over. She said 850 million people died.
So yeah,
when the virus took over.
Right. So in that, you see that happen to not everybody reacts well to the virus in the hive mind piece. So Carol's manager / significant other,
yes,
did not make it, and that's what a lot of her reaction stems from. And she's dealing with that in addition to being one of the last 12 people on Earth with free will. But 886 million died during the takeover as this happened. But and they kind of explain it away of like, well, what about the astronauts? How are they infected already? Oh, we got to them early. I'm like,
yeah.
All right. And people in subs, we got to them early too. I'm like, okay. I got to do the math on the timing because the show is nice where it's like, it's this many hours till infection.
Right.
In the first episode. Like it does a countdown. And now it's doing a count up. So we see how time passes and we're only like 2 days into this thing so far. But when Carol freaks out at the pirate lady.
The first time.
It kills 11 million people.
Which is crazy to think about.
Because some of them were driving. Some of them were flying a plane. And they just convulse into these seizures and can't react for X amount of time while they reset. So it's why, and you think about how big the world is and everybody's on it. When a butterfly flaps its wings, right? Like the butterfly effect, and how big that is. And then, we don't, then she does it again and we don't know what the end result is there. Yeah, but it's wild, kind of this concept of it. And then we're on, just the reason that they want Carol and these other 12 to join them and they're doing anything these people want is they don't understand why they didn't get taken over or die. So they want to study them and get them as part of the hive mind to finish the takeover of the planet. But it's a neat concept and it's Vince Gilligan, so it's really well done. Go ahead.
He said he has 4 seasons in mind. But Breaking Bad, he only had 2 or 3 seasons, and they went 6. So he's right now he has a basically like a 4-season plan, but it could go more, it could go less.
The nice part with
Well,
that
not less, it could go more.
Nice part of that is it's Apple TV, and they seem to not be canceling stuff, but giving it its time to do what it needs to do.
Yeah. I started watching the morning show, which I want to talk about next time we do this. I'm into the 3rd season of it, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. But they're in the 4th season. No, Apple seems to like let you go. Right. They just every show on Apple, and I could just sit and watch all the Apple shows that I haven't watched, and probably just be fine on TV. Everything that Apple seems to put out is really, really good.
Agreed. This show reminds me to a degree of Brain Dead, which I talked about once or twice. I loved that show. It got canceled way too early. Where there's the weird takeover, but this one it's a different perspective to it, which is really neat. I think it has the potential to end up being my favorite of the zombie shows, because everybody's a zombie hive mind, Frank. So you're watching a zombie show. I got you. Ha ha. And now you're sucked in. So took 200 episodes, but I got you to watch a zombie show. I didn't even know that's what it was when I watched the preview, to be honest with you. I just thought it was, I knew how amazing Rhea Seehorn is. So I was like, it's going to be good. So let's get in on the ground floor and talk through it. So thanks everybody for 200 episodes. Here's to 200 more.
Maybe when we hit 250 or 300, we'll just get together somewhere and maybe do it in public somewhere.
Oh, maybe come up with something good for that. Yeah. Thank you all for finding the Geek Spot. Check me out at Jack Kid Music to see where I'll be. Again, is our friend Jim popped in the chat earlier. You can catch me next live on the 22nd at Red Stallion with Fab Fly. Frank, how's the island going?
We'll be on the island this week. I think T found his house. They found their dream house. He's been looking for a house. He's been a little his schedule's been a little rough. Mine's been a little rough with hockey, but I'm hopefully we're back live Wednesday. We're going to have a lot to talk about tonight. John Cena's last appearance on Raw in Boston, Massachusetts. Lots of rumors swirling about what could happen. John Cena has 4 dates remaining as a wrestler, and then he is retired for good as a wrestler. He's one of those guys that when he says he's never wrestling again, he will never, for no amount of money, ever put boots on to wrestle again. He'll make appearances on behalf of the WWE as like an ambassador, but he will never wrestle again.
Well, God bless John Cena. And thanks for finding the Geek Spot, everybody. We will see you next time.
Maybe a new shirt.